Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando, and today we've got kind of a GAC recap. Now, I made that GAC planner video to try and help not only me out, but you guys out with what the meta is seeing and all that good stuff. So I did some quick recording here off stream. Just wanted to kind of put into practice maybe some of the things we've seen. So without any further ado, it's going to be kind of sped up. So we'll take a look at the defense really quick. Got Trench, got Ray, got the old Ben lead with the Leia, and then we got Lord Vader. The old Ben lead, if you guys don't know, is supposed to try to stop Jabba. Looks like we had Traya, we had Inquisitors, and First Order. Now, these First Order, they did not have the Doubt Cron, so this is a perfect example of where Crons can actually give you the upper hand. If this was that, I couldn't do this counter, not at least successfully. And the cool part about this was that it's a single tank, so you can actually, as soon as you kill First Order Stormtrooper here, which should happen right now, you can actually kind of go all in on Kylo Ren. Now, I will say the different part of this is that old Ben, he was on defense for me again with Leia. So a little bit different of a look there. But yeah, with no doubt, like this is, you mark here and you go all in, and kind of thinking about it just because I haven't played the single tank variant in a really long time. But yeah, you just kind of keep him ability blocked, and yeah, it's great. And then obviously once SLKR is out, this team becomes pretty much nothing. I guess I won't say nothing, but it's definitely not, a galactic. You killed the galactic legend part, right? So yeah, you just clean up here. I think we end up with a 64, but I guess technically it'd be like maybe 74. I wasn't able to get the extra recovery here on Jedi Knight Revan. So yeah, 64 there. Easy battle, right? Again, Crons making a difference. So I gave myself a doubt Cron here. I'd heard stuff like that, and I'd kind of made this video when I made Bane. Like, this is... I'm going to talk about this fight because it's not a long fight, and I'm going to talk about Bane a little bit. I view, listen, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. This is fun. I can't, I'm not going to sit here and say, wow, this is horrible. When you do an AoE like that and it just kills everyone, that's fun. It goes against what I feel like his purpose was, which was really to lift C. At this point, we are lifting Bane by putting in a bad by putting in a mostly useless Sith and fulfilling his unique. And this is what I said on that video, guys. Like, I actually think there's going to be a lot of credence to just using C as you always kind of normally use C, and then to go and kill a really good team, sometimes even a galactic legend, with C+1. So yeah, this is a pretty standard fight here. And I didn't need Bane here. I was able to kill Inquisitors for 65 or whatever it was. I feel like that's a really good trade-off. So yeah, that's where I feel like I don't, like, I'm not saying I'm looking for a nerf, or I'm not looking for, like, but I wouldn't be upset if they said, if in the clause they said, hey, rule of 2 only applies when there's a Sith galactic legend present, right? And again, the reason for that is not because I dislike what's happened, or not because I want to ruin the fun. The reason why I'm saying that is because it just doesn't feel like now C has a lifter. It feels like we've got almost a brand new galactic legend that can mostly solo things, right? Like 2-man undersized things. And it's not like he's got a datacron that's like boosting him up like crazy. the board is currently too small, I feel like, to implement this. But again, you know, if they don't change it, it's not like I'll be so upset or anything like that. It just, right now, that's how I'm kind of feeling it. A little bit like, oh wow, this is very broken. And it starts to feel like, what can I put on defense? Like, it doesn't really matter what I put on defense. One of my teams is just going to get absolutely clobbered. And so that's where I fall on that. Like I said, I don't care either way, more or less, but I wouldn't be upset if they come out and nerfed that interaction where he's basically just taking a kind of, I won't say worthless Sith, but not a great Sith, and doing that. All right, so this was the big change, right? I had been putting Malgus on defense. You know, the results will speak for themselves, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Like I said, I don't know exactly if I misplayed anything. Just obviously rotating as many doubts as possible, and the first target I'm going for is Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. He seems like the natural target. Now maybe with the fix, you could go ahead and get Dark Trooper out. Maybe that's like a good call too, because he can't basically revive, and then you kind of get rid of like the big AoE damage, the big singular damage as well. But I went straight for Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. And then I believe, I'm checking the turn order here. I believe what I end up doing here is I'll end up kind of letting Dark Trooper just sit still for a bit, because I think he gets feared. And so then I kind of go for the other ones, which I think Scout is like the next one. Since he had doubt, I was like, we don't have to worry about that. And then again, because he has fear on him, I decided to save Dark Trooper for a bit. As soon as he exits, though, I think that's why I don't choose to do the AoE. I was trying to get rid of him, but as soon as he exits, I kind of go back towards Dark Trooper as a way of trying to save my banners, kind of thing. But yeah, this is you can't complain with this, right? Like, this is a very good result. And so yeah, we got a 65 there. Okay, so then we open up his back. We already faced a Galactic Legend or two. Now we've got to face Kenobi. So it kind of threw some wrenches in my plan. I was like, oh, okay, like that's pretty wild. And it is the no revive. So there's a few options there. You can run Inquisitors there. You can run some other stuff, but yeah, the big thing was I want to make sure that I can kill. I knew I was going to be able to kill Lord Vader. I've got Bo-Katan Mandalore, so I'm pretty lucky in that regards. Though her event is redropping soon, so hopefully you guys can get her too. And if you need, shameless plug, but if you need a guide, I do have one posted. So yeah. I open up with the basics there, obviously. Basic here, so that way I don't proc the counterattack from Maul. And then I open with a third, which will then dispel the buffs. And then I'm able to do another armor shred on Lord Vader, as that's going to be who we kind of go for. Do a basic to get the auto kill. And then we'll wait here for like 50 seconds while my blue Sax tries to figure out how we can mass assist here. And yeah, it's fine there. And then I usually try and get protection up, but we have doubt anyway, so I look for it. I think I still try it. I don't know why, but I just went for it. Then I usually try to get the basics here because of the ability block. And then, yeah, as many armor shreds as possible, we end up killing them pretty easily. Now, I know some people are going to be like, you can do an Underman, and I was like, I just don't really feel like that's a justified reason. Like, yes, I could, you're right, but I've also like just have a weird tendency to try not to do undermans, because I've seen really dumb things happen, and like I've had really dumb losses because I try to like cheat the banners, and I was just like, let's just be clean. Like, I'm good with that. So I was determining if I should do tenacity or if I should do the AoE. I kind of think that maybe tenacity would have been the better call there. I've never faced this team like this, honestly. So I was kind of just trying things and just figuring out what will work. So now I'm thinking, okay, let's maybe get some tenacity going. But Reva's already been, you know, buff immuned. And so, yeah, for those, again, that don't know, this is kind of how you try to stop the set 12 Jabba build with Bushkron. It looks like it works pretty well in .gg. I remember checking that up while I was doing kind of my research for that GAC planner. But yeah, ultimately I just kind of button mash my way here. You know, it sucks that we're not going to be able to get too many heals off here that I can actually, like, you know, save myself sort of thing, the banner loss. And I don't know, maybe this is lower than the average banner, but I was kind of sad by that. I was hoping that maybe I could get another reheal or something, but we ended up just punching too hard there. So 60 banner. So if you also watch that GAC planner, you'll know that the average banner has been like 62.7 in Kyber 1. So getting a 60 there is losing like almost 3 banners on average of like what the average attack is. So I wasn't stoked about that. This is a protection up one, and I was pretty afraid of it, but I had to take a risk at some point, right? It was either against Kenobi or it was going to be against Rey. Now, they had a lot of tenacity. That's why I opened up with the tenacity down. Luckily, not a lot of deflection. There was a little bit of crit avoid. You guys can go check the cron out. I think I posted that for quite some time. So the main thing that I want to do is get Rey down. And the big thing that I was thinking here is, okay, if we can't one-shot this, let's get this to a point where we can comfortably two-shot this. Obviously still going for the one-shot, but yeah, I was, you know, Bam Birds is a very serious comp. I know they don't have the cat in here to really boost up that offense, but it was scary. This was a scary fight. I didn't look it up on .gg, but if I had to guess that this is not going to be a super high counter from my guess. So now that we've got the main two parties that we are always trying to get into damage immunity, I'm like, okay, maybe this is a good time to also get Bam in there, potentially. And really just everyone. If I can, the whole goal of Star Killer, at least in my opinion, is to get everyone into damage immunity before you guys move into ult. So we did do that. At least we got Bam to trigger his bonus turn. The problem that is now going to become is, did we trigger this before we get, you know, some AoEs here? So that's why I do the stuns. That way, like, there's no dash AoE. There's no, you know, sortie AoE, because all of a sudden Bam's birds, you know, just starts to kind of creep up. We already know we're going to get an AoE from Rey. That's automatically going to give us 5. So right now it's about, like, let's hope that we can get Rey out of there. Or hopefully, like, maybe Bam can come out before Rey, but it doesn't look like it, right? Like, based off of our turn meter, how it's looking here. So there it goes. Now we've got 11 birds. I'm a little bit afraid. We are starting to dip down in protection on some of these guys. So I decide, hey, let's go ahead and reheal here. We can't stun Bam when he's in that stance, at least in this set. So the big news is here, like, let's see what we can get done. Okay, good. Right, it didn't kill anyone. That's the goal. And now we want to kill Swolo when we kill Rey. So we opened up that opportunity. It was perfectly timed, and we're able to get those big kills. So now it's just about whack-a-mole Ben, and then also just kind of dealing with these guys going in and out of damage. I started to notice that Dash was starting to dodge us a little bit. And I'm guessing, and I didn't recheck this, but I'm guessing his mastery has something to do with deflection. And so I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because he's not coming out of stealth, and there he goes. So I said, hey, let's try this right now. And 209,000, and it was beautiful, you know. So we lose one banner there from Visas, but honestly, I was ecstatic about it. So now the other problem is I kind of already used up Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I used C. I used up quite a bit of, you know, counters from Malgus. So this is a good layered defense with trying to bring out the good counters. You know, I don't know if I showed how many GLs I have on offense, but I think it's 3, and I already used up one of them. So I was like thinking to myself, okay, like let's try Aphra here. Let's just try and, you know, get that early chain of doubt on them. We can then get the basic here. We can recycle. This is how we cycle through a lot of Aphra turns, right? We just kind of do a basic to start it off. Now, I will say with the doubt crons, we have to be careful that we're not put into doubt. Luckily, these guys are so tanky that, you know, we're not doing that. So every of these droids turns that are scoundrels, I'm kind of doing basic, and then I'm moving with Aphra, and then, you know, my droid, they gained 100%, or my scoundrel droid, they gained 100% Terminator. But here's where I mess up, right? So he had doubt on him. He's not going to get his turn. Obviously, I still got Aphra's turn, but still, you kind of want to maximize those turns early on, right? I think that's kind of the key here, right? Even with that mess up, I'm at like 608 siphon. All of a sudden, my damage is starting to really, really climb up here. And yeah, want to also be cognizant if we think Malik is close to you know, a drain, try and keep that revive around. And what I'm doing here is I'm hitting Darth Revan, right? Because he's naturally kind of killing Malgus, which is what I want at this point. And so yeah, unfortunately I revived and he went right for the guy that I revived, but yeah, he's kind of naturally killing Malgus whenever, because he health equalizes with the strongest Sith. So worked out for me. There's another revive, so I'm able to kind of take that and advantage of that. Again, we're almost at 900 siphon every single time. So now we're going to start hitting pretty hard. Big thing is I'm trying to get, you know, our health and protection back, but doubt kind of throws a wrench in that, right? So I brought Dark Trooper Moff Gideon off of defense as well. That was a decision that I kind of made last minute. I was like, yeah, you know, Reva too. I was like, these guys are fantastic on defense, but everyone's bringing at least I told everyone they should bring Malgus off defense. So I'm just kind of setting myself up to get Malgus with those teams. You know, there's a pretty good win percentage. There's a pretty good chance that I would have, you know, that if they do that, they win that exchange kind of deal. So I said, well, let me beefing up my defense with some GLs, and then maybe what we can end up doing from there is we can kind of play with these GL light characters that have been made GLs by the Datacron. And as you can see, we're just absolutely torching this team. So this team, the good news is Reva, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, Malgus, those guys are all going to get used. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of defense they set. They'll at least get some usage. So then I check his ships. Little disclaimer, I don't attack ships. I was kind of waiting for my opponent. I wanted to see if he could full clear me. As I saw what his defense was, I was like, man, he's gonna have a hard time clearing me, I think. But I wanted to make sure. And I'm always kind of a lazy guy, so if I don't have to attack ships, I just won't. Obviously though, if I had him pinged up on Prime Bot, so if I knew if he was going to move, that way if I could kind of play ships that way if I had to, kind of thing. All right, so there's no more R2D2 trick, right? Because R2 belongs to Leia. I was questioning what I should do there, just because I didn't want to miss the heal immunity, but everyone has foresight, so it's just one of those bad luck kind of things, I guess, or bad timing kind of thing. But to be fair, they missed theirs as well, so I guess we're good there. I wanted to kind of get Mace Windu down. His shatter point and his ability block here, as you can tell, is pretty annoying. This is why he's so good in TW as well. Like, he just kind of is a nuisance. We get so close to killing him for the second time, I should say, and then we don't. So then what I decided to do is I don't want to leap him at that low of a health. So I decided, okay, well, let's just ult, and then of course he gets damage immunity. So I just say, all right, let's leap Cat. We've already killed him once, so the next kill is going to be a legit one. So let's go for Cat. It's where all the damage and the defense and all that good stuff, the health, the extra, all that good, those good things, that's coming from Cat. So let's get Cat out of here. And they do have the cron where when they gain a buff, they're recovering protection and health. So whereas I have the one where every time we gain some dispellable buffs and it's our turn, we gain the 5% offense stacking. So I try to go there for the leap because there's no protection up, so we can crit. Wasn't enough though, but we're getting close enough to where we're gonna kill JMK before we kill Ahsoka Tano, which is just a classic mix-up. So we'll end up, I think, with 62, I think. Yeah, so it is what it is there. Now, I wanted to show you, but I guess my face is in the way. I still have like JML, Treya, Tuskens, some Jedi, GBA, right? Like there's a lot of stuff. I think some Imperial Troopers, Bad Batch. So there's a lot of Qui-Gon Jinn. I still have a lot, and I did not place what I think is an easy defense to go around. This just speaks to like a lot of the players' concerns with it being PvP is kind of a little bit, I won't say stale, but it's one of those things where we have so many roster solutions, and yet it feels like we can't use all of them because we keep getting more teams printed to us. And so that's where I think a lot of people's frustration is, especially with the recent road ahead, right? It's not that the raid is a bad thing. And by the way, I almost lose this because I didn't check the speed of, I think, a Zori. I only checked Resistance Hierophant. Luckily, we didn't get the kill, but basically what ends up happening here is once we take a turn, we just won't let them take a turn again. We'll continue to reduce their turn meter. That's why I like this cron. So for those that have it, it's don't sleep on it. It's pretty good. But yeah, this is why people are getting a little bit wondering where is our PvP update, so to speak. And it's because we can sit here and overkill, and I just didn't use a Galactic Legend, even though he placed 5 of them. And some of that has to do with the meta, with the Datacrons, right? Some of that has to do with that for sure. So yeah, anyways, we finish up this fight. Good game to, I think it's Bifeka. I definitely fell further than what I intended. Again, I was just bringing the wrong thing, and that's why I think that video about the GAC meta, the planner, I forgot now what we even called it, but I'm wanting to do that because that's how I learn. Hopefully that's how you guys can learn, or hopefully I can help you guys along the way. But yeah, finish up with a 65. I end up scoring whatever this is, 1405. He ended up doing just a 75 on one of my squads, and then we called it even. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys learned something. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to help support me, and thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.